fun? It's Cecelia Towns, the Sporty Esquire, and you're here with me for another episode of Workin Women Wednesday, the series where I give you life hacks that help you in your career and in life in general. And they're based on my experiences as an attorney, as an entrepreneur, as a former athlete. I just out here trying to give you advice to help you be better. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about investing in your career, the importance of it, how to go about it. And I want to continue that conversation today, but I sort of want to talk about the opposite. Instead of talking about ways to invest in your career, I want to talk about some things that women do that are actually harming them in their careers, or things that women fail to do. So let's jump right in, because you know we only have 10 minutes together. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see that women make when it comes to career development is that we fail to team up, to unite with other women in our industry or with allies in our industry. We sort of have this sense that we have to go it alone, and that's the complete opposite of what you should be doing when you're trying to develop your career. You want to find like-minded people to support you. You want to find like-minded people that are going to be able to compliment you. And this is whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working corporate, whether you're in the federal sector. You know, a lot of times women talk about how they're at work and they don't feel supported. Well, if you find your tribe, you know, when you're in the meetings and you say something, your tribe is going to be the one that supports you. Or your tribe is going to be the one that's kind of going to bat for you and your ideas. They're going to be the ones that, you know, when you're frustrated, you can talk to them at work so that you're sort of insulating your own morale and just giving yourself or developing moral support with the people that are around you and in your industry. So, you know, men seem to grasp onto this very easily, that they form these cliques, and oftentimes the cliques can be annoying, but at the end of the day, if you choose your clique wisely, whether no matter what industry you're in, it's going to help you in the long run. So find your group, your tribe, your clique, and those are going to be the people that support your ideas and go to bat for you and just generally, you know, give you the energy that you need in your industry. The second thing that I see that women aren't doing is that we aren't necessarily volunteering and asserting ourselves like we should. That's very important. You know, when you want to get promoted, when you want to be noticed, you can't sit back and wait for somebody else to call on you. That's not how it works. You have to raise your hand. You have to say, I want to do it. Pick me, pick me, pick me. For a lot of women, that's kind of counterintuitive, but we do need to take a more assertive stance. I think, you know, typically entrepreneurs, we can grasp this concept a lot, but this is very important when you're talking about being in the corporate setting or being in a more traditional work environment where you, you know, have a manager, you have a boss. Assert yourself, volunteer for the difficult task, and that's how you're going to get known. That's how you're going to get noticed. That's how you're going to be considered, because you're going to be looked at as someone who's a go-getter, someone who is a boss, someone who can be relied on. The third thing that I think a lot of women fail to do is we fail to go to the extracurricular activities. And by extracurricular activities, I mean those after work happy hours that people are going to, the games that people are going to together as a unit. You know, a lot of times we're too busy trying to rush to get home to our real friends, or we're trying to get home to our families. And the real friends, the families, they're important, but when you're talking career development, it's also important to go to those extracurricular activities, okay? You have to make friends at work. That's how those after work hours, those happy hours, that's where people are really getting to know your personality. That's where people are really getting to trust you. That's where the actual decisions are being made. You know, you might discuss something at a group meeting, but at the end of the day, where the decision is being made is outside of that meeting. People are strategizing on how they feel about something, or they're just throwing ideas back and forth, or they're making decisions at the company based on who they like. And you usually, sometimes you can get to know people at work. Definitely you can. But you really, really form bonds with people oftentimes when you leave the workplace. So go, make time to go and schmooze it up with your boss, with your other coworkers, because that is where you're going to find that you're really developing your relationships, your key relationships with people that are going to allow you to grow in your career. The fourth thing that we're not doing on a regular basis that we need to start doing is asking. We need to ask for money. We need to ask for more responsibility. We need to ask for promotions. Ask and you shall receive. Again, this goes back to the first thing of volunteering and asserting yourself. Sometimes we're not getting positions because we're not making it known that we want it. I've done a series on how to ask for the raise, so that shouldn't be a problem for you anymore. You know how to go get your coins. Asking is really opening up your mouth. I've actually done a series on how to ask, how to go about asking. So I have given you the tools. You ladies can go out and ask for whatever you need and expect to be able to get the answers that you want. But you got to ask. You have to open your mouth. You can't blame your boss. You can't blame society for not paying you enough. If you aren't even asking for the money, if you aren't even asking to be promoted to the next position, if you aren't asking to have more responsibility at work. So open your mouth and ask. The fifth thing that I see that we're lacking and we're not doing is we aren't getting the mentors. I've done a series on the importance of mentorship. It really can sort of change your career trajectory. Get you a mentor. It'll allow you to bounce ideas that you have off of someone who is seasoned. It'll allow you to just generally get advice from someone who has been there before. Because, it's great to use your work tribe and your homegirls to get advice from, but if they're at the same level as you, they really don't know that much more than you. Getting a mentor, someone who's been in the game a little longer, can just help you navigate whatever industry you're in with a little more confidence and with fewer mistakes. So get the mentor. And then that brings me to the sixth thing that we're not doing is we're not getting the sponsors. I've done a series on sponsors and how important they are. The sponsors are the people who are, higher than you, at a higher level than you, and who can go in the places that you can't go just yet, and who are going to be able to speak up for you, speak on your behalf, and say the things that you cannot say. And they are vital to your career development. So go on and get you one. So that's it. Those are the 6 things that if you're not doing them, you need to make sure you're doing them so that you can secure your success and your career advancement. Those are the 6 things that I feel like, women aren't doing. We're not teaming up and forming our cliques like we need to. We're not volunteering for a task and asserting ourselves. We're not going to the extracurricular activities at work. We're not asking for more money, for more responsibility. We're not getting our mentors, and we're not getting our sponsors. So ladies, don't fall into any of those categories. Get all of those things and watch your career just take off. I think a great place to put some of these things in practice and to learn from women who have sort of gone before you and have been successful, especially in the sports industry, is the GladiatHers Women in Sports Empowerment Summit. Y'all knew I was going to say that. That's January 30th, 2019 in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to just tell you that it's going to be an amazing event. We're going to have panels, workshops, all around personal branding, financial literacy, career development. There's going to be wonderful panel discussions from experts in the sports industry, a whole nother mixer Go to the website gladiatorsummit.com to find out more information and to get your tickets. But that's my time. It's Cecelia Towns again, the Sporty Esquire, for another episode of Workin Women Wednesday. I'll see you here next week. Thank you again for joining me. Bye.